Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, congressional lawmakers are pressing ahead with a bipartisan effort to make future elections more secure. This all comes as former President Trump ramps up his attacks on the nation's voting infrastructure, while lawmakers are trying to protect election workers this year. Senior national political reporter Sahil Kapur joins us now with more. Sahil, your new reporting actually digs into those reactions, both from Democratic and Republican senators, really to former President Trump's recent statements, as they really try to kind of figure their way around these reforms to our election process. What specifically did they tell you?
Well, specifically, they say the former president's antics have not had an impact in their negotiations. And that is significant because generally when Donald Trump decides to unload on a particular issue, starts to attack lawmakers by name, it tends to complicate what happens on Capitol Hill because many members of the Republican Party don't like to incur his political wrath. They don't like to upset his voters. But numerous key senators who are involved in these negotiations told us that he has not had an impact. That includes Susan Collins, who said, no, not really, when asked if he's having an impact. I asked Shelley Moore Capito, a West Virginia Republican, whether Trump's missives have affected or complicated their negotiations. She said it didn't really seem to. Tonight being last Tuesday when they met to discuss the way forward. So for now, senators have enough of a desire to move forward with these negotiations and to continue pursuing them. And they're trying to replicate the successful formula of the bipartisan infrastructure talks, which, recall, Trump also tried to oppose, but Republicans had enough of a desire to work with Democrats and get it done. And crucially, Mitch McConnell, the Senate Republican leader, has given his members a green light to talk here.
But Sahil, go back just 1 second. I mean, what specific changes are these senators considering, and what's the timeline on all of this? I mean, are these changes, they're meant to protect the presidential election in 2024, but could we see any meaningful reforms happen even before this year's midterms?
Well, the timing is unclear, but the goal is definitely for senators to get this done before the end of this year. Otherwise, the congressional session expires and they would have to start all over again. And what they're considering are changes to the Electoral Count Act, the 1887 law that would clarify that the vice president has no ability to unilaterally reject or refuse to count votes. That is something that former President Trump has tried to get then Vice President Mike Pence to do. Pence recently emphatically said no. He did not believe he had that authority to do that. And excuse me. And senators want to make abundantly clear that no vice president in the future has that power.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.